Hello and welcome to my teacher's bullet journal. Today I'm going to be showing you everything that's in my journal and how I use it. So, we'll start with the cover, which is a leather cover for the Staples Arc. And I start with an index. I don't know yet in how far I'm going to use this, but we'll see. It will help to have at least something about where everything will go. So that's double-sided. Now I will get some dividers, but I haven't gotten them yet, so just use normal A4 paper to set this up. Then we go into my future log, which is all the way from September, start of the year, until July, end of the school year. So we'll have everything in one go, so I can see everything. Everything we have, holidays, vacations, special days, I already put in there. So this is really all we have right now. Then we go into monthly views. Now I do the monthly views as I did do in my normal bullet journal, which is 1 till 30 or 31, and I put everything I need to do next to it. And I color code them, as you can see, so everything that's really normal, general stuff is blue, and then I have a color code for every class and stuff like that. So I have my top goals, which I want to do every month, and normally that goes on. Next page is blank. I put this in between. I'm gonna do this for now, 2 months, and see how it works out. This is a work time log, and I want to log what I do each day and what I spent my time on. So I'm gonna write my stuff here, so my teaching, coordinating, making materials, all that kind of stuff, and put it in here. So what do I do from 8 to 9? What do I do from 9 to 10, etc. So I can look at, where does my time go? Because my boss has a certain idea about where my time should be spent, and I kind of have the feeling that that doesn't really work out the way she wants to. So I want to be able to show, look, some things cost more time than you say they do. So I want to look at that for now. So then I have a few months. So I have October and blank page, and I can just put the time log in between when I need it there, November and December. And I just went till there because then we have a break, so that's fine for now. Then I have my teacher dashboard, which holds sticky notes, as you can see. And I have things to do, students to see, email to answer, copies to make, supplies needed, and notes, which is the bulk of what I need in a day concerning categories that I need to think about. I'm missing a few sticky notes here, but I'm going to put those in. Then next to that I have a week view. Now I've been using this in my bullet journal as well, so I'm just going to continue it like that. So the week, I put my appointments and lessons and everything like that in here, and then next to it I have my task list. So I will put the dates in here. So for example, it's Monday in September is the 3rd, I believe, so I'll put the 3rd in here, and 3, 4, 5, etc. So I can put the week and all of that here. So I can copy this as much as I want to without having to do this over and over again. So I do my tasks here. Just do a simple dot if I have to do it on that day, and I cross it out if it's done. So easy like that. This works for me perfectly. I've been doing it a while now, and it just holds everything I need. Well, I have a few weeks, I believe 8. Because that's when the next holiday will be. I have SLB, which means coaching in Dutch. So this is all about my coaching students. Now I will cover the names up here. But I have names of the students here. Start is when they started school. KM gesprek. That means when I did the first introduction talk with them. And then I have the internships, which I need to visit. So, and I'm just gonna put something on here for now. So I do internship. I visit twice normally. So I do 1, 2. Sometimes I visit 1 time extra if something's going on or it's not going according to plan. So then I can do the 3rd one in between. So that's internship 1, 2, 3. And then I have, if they started their exams, which means they're rounding off their education, end. So when do they plan to end their education, which is variable. I teach adults and I teach special programs. So they start at some certain time and they should be done in 2 years, but that can be 1.5. It can also be 3 or 4. Sometimes they get pregnant or stuff happens. So, you know, this is variable. So I want to keep an eye on this and see if we're still heading the right way. Then this for if they get their diploma. Okay, so then we have student stuff here. I'm just gonna move to the next one. Student stuff here. This is for each individual student. So put name, email, phone number, etc. I can put internship stuff here. So the internship, the address, if I went to talk to them. Here I will keep track of all when, you know, the dates I had conversations with these students, because it will not be much, but I do want to keep track of it. Anything I need to remember, front and center. So really important stuff. And then just blank room for notes when I talk to them or when something comes up with a colleague, and I have the back for that as well. I can always add in more if I need more note space. So that's a few of those pages. I'm still going to fill them in, but I thought it would be better to leave them blank until I've made this video. Then we're moving on to English, which is my main course that I teach. So English is the core of my business, so to say. So first I have an overview. And here you can see each class. So for now, I just put a few of them in to show how it works. So, and these are the lessons, 1 to 10. Normally I teach about 7. So it's adult education. I teach about 7 lessons of 3 hours. So not normal 50 minute or something, 3 hours. And then they do their exams. So this group, which is a real group, this group has had 2 lessons, which is, you know, reasonable. They'll get the rest this year. Then I have a few groups who have 4 lessons, and then I have 2 groups which are done, which are these groups, because they've done their exams. So these are the exams. This is the central exam, writing exam, speaking, conversation. And if I did a lesson for resits, because that's important too. So that's this. This is just a general overview for me to keep track of every class. Then we're moving on to individual classes. So it's really important to keep track of each class for me, what I do, because classes tend to switch around or be taught at a different time, or the lesson doesn't go through, and it's really hard for me to keep track of what I did with what class, especially because the time in between can be 2 months if I don't see a class. So I can see them from lesson 1, and then it can be 6 weeks before I see them for lesson 2. So by that time I have forgotten what I did for lesson 1. So I can write here the materials I used, the assignments we did, and, you know, just a general description. Just to remind myself, look, I did this with this group. just for future reference. So if I get to lesson 2 6 weeks after, I can see, okay, I did this with lesson 1, and now I'm gonna do lesson 2, and I'm gonna do this. And I have one for each class for now. So I'll be having like 10 classes of this, so I have 10 about these. Then I have my lesson plan inserts. They're very simple. They're just for me to generally write out a lesson plan. So I have, I write here what kind of lesson it is, what I need to prep for each lesson, so copies you need to make, etc. General agenda. Then the lesson plan, so what am I gonna, what subject or stuff like that. Description, who, so me or the students or something else, and the time invested. Then I have notes and follow-up, so I can put this in all together. So I have one of these for each of the lessons I teach, so about 7 for English. And I'm gonna fill these in when I get to work on Monday. I'm gonna grab my stuff that I have in a folder there, and I'm gonna put everything in this teacher planner. So I'm gonna write these out then. Then I have my professional stuff. How do you call it? Everything concerning me as a professional. So first I have my absence log, which is pretty self-explanatory. I just want to keep track of when I'm ill or gone or for whatever reason, so I never have to argue with anyone about that. After the we have expenses. When I go to visit students at their internships or stuff like that, when I need to purchase stuff, I put it in here. Then I put in what it costs, and I put the date in that I declared it and the date that I receive it. So I can keep track if I declared something and I haven't received it a while after, I can follow up on that. Then professional development, so this is for events and courses and stuff like that. So you have here the date, the event, the description, and the time. This is time invested. So if I went for 8 hours, that's the time that I invested in it. And we have to do a certain amount of professional development each year. So this is how I can prove that I did that this year. Same goes for certificates, as an English teacher, you need to keep track of your certificates, that you're allowed to take exams and that kind of stuff. So I can put that in here. Professional reading, again, to keep up with what I read and how I develop myself. This is more for myself. I don't need to show this to anyone, but I want to keep track of books and stuff. Then we go to teaching, where I have my resources, websites, books that I have, everything at a glance. So sometimes I forget I have a book or a certain website that I bookmarked that I forget that I have. So I can put everything in here and see at a glance, if it's about English or something else, and I might be able to use it for the lesson I'm doing. So just a general overview. So I have 2 of those because that's easy. TEDx, that's arts, but just it's drawing, textile, and general art. It's just a Dutch naming of that. So again, same idea, group, lessons, and because they don't have exams, just put notes here, so I can keep notes if I want to. Same general group plan, just put in the group and put in what I did each lesson. Again, if I don't see them for a while, that just makes things easy. And I have a lesson plan for TEDx as well, of course. Then after that, we go, let's not skip, we don't want to skip, coordinator. So I coordinate a few things at work, so I need to keep track of some big projects. So that's why I have my project insert. I can put the project here. For example, I need to, I coordinate the BOL students, which are students that come to us 3 days a week, and all of those students I coordinate. So I do the rosters, I plan the teachers, plan the lessons, all of that. So it's kind of a big thing to keep track of always. So I just keep tasks that I need to do for that specific project here. And then on the other side, I can say what time I invested in the project and what I did. And then just general notes. And I have a few of these projects going on. There's also an ICT project, which I'm doing with a colleague. And that's just to help colleagues in ICT and using it in their lessons. So I'm going to use one for that. And a few like that. Then I called this fun. I didn't know what to call it. It's just more of a general, you don't need it for teaching, but okay. Things my students say, well, of course, they can say silly things. Especially Dutch students who speak in English. It can be very funny, so I need to write it down, of course. Then I just have note paper, note taking, you know, for meetings and that kind of stuff. I have a folder, which is two-sided, by the way, and back of my planner with a pen loop. And that's it. So that's all of my teacher planner currently. I make all of my inserts myself in Publisher. So I do have some more inserts that I want to make. So the crosses are ones that I already made. And, you know, there are some inserts that I still want to get done. But I might do that some other time. Because the basics, the ones I really need, I have right now. So I can just keep adding to it when I want to. So I hope you find this useful, and if you ever want to know how to make your own inserts in Publisher, please give a shout out to me and I'll be happy to explain.